Hello, everybody, and welcome to Winning with Wisdom, rather wisdom with Apostle Baylor. God bless you guys, man. I was just a slightly time of lateness because there's a lot going on with me today. Oh Lord, I had a lot going on, but thank God I'm here. So how is everybody doing? Everybody's doing all right. I see some of the saints have already logged on. So let me jump into the lesson today. So we got a lot of information to discover today. And I tell you, I believe it's going to really be a blessing to everybody. Okay. I believe you guys are really going to be blessed with what we're going to talk about today. So let's jump into the lesson and let's see what the Lord is going to do for us. I'm going to start like this. Let's see where we at with this. Let me see. I was at presentations. Okay, that should get me there. That's not gonna get me there. Let me see. Let me get here like this. Let me get it like this. There we go. Okay. I'm gonna jump to this, and I'm sure I'm gonna have to, kind of log in to where you guys will be, and to answer your questions. And then if you have some things you just want to say, we will be more than glad to work alongside with you. Everybody is going to be like that. Okay, that's all right. I'm sure that will be all right. Okay, let's jump into the lesson. This is lesson number 2 as we deal with apostolic mantles. Man, this is you talking about a real great opportunity that we're going to learn from today is going to really be a blessing to everybody, and that's why I want you guys to ask a lot of questions. Okay, this is the second lesson here. Okay, let's jump in with this. Well, I'm gonna have to come back down, and I'm gonna have to come back down. Let's see where we at with this. I'm gonna have to come back down and mm, let's see where we're at. Let's see where we're at. And just to give you guys an opportunity to log in and all of that. Let me see where we at with this. Give me just a second, everybody. Where are we at? Here we are. Edit. Let's see where we at. They're not trying to log me in here. Let me see. Let me see. Let me see. Yeah. Let's see what I can do here. And this is gonna be a blessing. Oh, here we are right here. Yeah, I'm gonna go here so we can give you guys a very good opportunity to see what we're going to be dealing with today. Okay. Okay. In the last lesson, the last seminar, we discussed this. What is an apostolic mantle? We talked about the purpose of an apostolic mantle. Then we dealt with the purpose of a mantle was to give the possessor tremendous power and authority. Then we talked about the purpose of the mantle possessor was to send to deliver. He was sent to deliver. And when a person has an apostolic mantle in his or her life, man, they are sent to deliver. Okay. Then we talked about and we dealt with the fact that all of this really gets us to a point where we are conveyed from a person of a greater office to one of a lesser office. So, man, just say for instance that you're a pastor, but then God releases an apostolic mantle on your life. Man, you move to a level that's over you just being a pastor. I'm telling you, it is totally different, like night and day. When I started just as a pastor, that was a good place to be. But man, when the apostolic mantle hit my life, it's unbelievable. I mean, like last night, man, last night was just incredible. It was literally incredible. The glory was in this office, and I could see, man, the glory in here. It was just like not a major cloud, but it was just a cloud in here, man. It's been like that the last 3 weeks. So that's because, man, what happened to me, me being a pastor, receiving an apostolic mantle, it took me to another level. Okay. Then we talked about what are New Testament apostolic mantles. We talked about all of that, okay, in the last seminar. All right, now this is what we're going to talk about today. I got a lot to talk about, man. We're going to talk about how to receive an apostolic mantle. You guys will learn that. Okay, how to receive an apostolic mantle. Number 2, number 3, how to receive. We got these keys: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. How to receive an apostolic mantle. And then I'm not going to get to all of this, but I'm going to give you some characteristics of an apostolic mantle. What happens in that individual's life that is the residue of an apostolic mantle. So let's jump in. Key number 1, how to receive an apostolic mantle. And if you guys have any questions or comments, please, man, put it in the chat. And with the help of the Lord, I will do the best I can to answer your question, or to just talk to you about some of the things you want to know about. Okay. In 1 Kings chapter number 19, verse 19, the Bible says, so he departed thence, watch this, and found Elisha, the son of Shaphat, who was plowing with 12 yoke of oxen before him, and he with the 12th. And Elijah passed by him and cast his mantle up on him. So we had Elisha receiving the mantle from Elijah. Okay. Now, okay, the word son here comes from the Hebrew bane. Now watch what it means, because Elisha is a son to Elijah. So the word son comes from the Hebrew bane, and it has to deal with relationship. Okay, so when you bring a young preacher, whatever he's done, he might be an apostle, prophet, evangelist, pastor, teacher, but I'll tell you, if he's going to be an apostle, that in a lot of cases, that apostolic mantle is going to be on his life. And the reason it is because of relationship. I thank God for Apostle Leo Spencer Lewis. Man, he's taken me under his wings, and he's shared with me a lot of things, man. Apostle Tudor Bismarck did the same thing. I don't know anybody else that has. I don't know anybody else that's really a true apostle that has helped me. Okay, so here's what happens: it's the connection between those two has a relationship, because you love each other, and you're interested in seeing. They were interested in seeing me flow as an apostle, and they gave me that. I'm looking forward to doing the same thing. I don't know how many young preachers are going to be apostles. I'm looking forward to seeing it in Faith Miracle Chapel. I'm not pushing them to that though, and I'll tell them if they're not. I'll tell them if they are. Okay. It has to deal with subject. A subject. You know what a subject is? A subject is somebody looks at that individual or whatever that subject is, and they know a lot about him or her. Okay, him or her. Okay, it has to deal with appointed to. So you have, either way, I believe this can happen either way. It probably goes both ways, man. When you have somebody that receives an apostolic mantle, the key, the older apostle is appointed to that son. but mainly the son is appointed to the senior apostle. Okay, so he can get to where God wanted him to go. It also means fruitful, and that's what's going to happen with the young man that's receiving the apostolic mantle. Has to do with a lamb. Yeah. So what that has to deal with is, man, like when I deal with Apostle Lewis or Apostle Tudor Bismarck, man, I'm like a lamb. I listen. I don't do a lot of talking at all. I listen because they know far more than me. Now, here, this is what happens. It's a servant soldier. So that's exactly what a person that receives an apostolic mantle does. That's the realm that he operates in now. Because I'll give you an example. Like whenever I haven't done it in a while, but for a while I was preaching for the conference of Apostle Leo Spencer Lewis. Okay? Yeah, I was a servant soldier. Whatever he told me to do, I would do it. Like sometimes he would tell me what he wanted me to preach about, I would preach it. And y'all know me, I don't usually carry notes or anything like that, usually when I'm preaching. But when Apostle Lewis told me to do it, I did. Okay? It deals with spark. You know, that's what happens when like a young guy starts sparking. He's doing well. A steward, he's following somebody and he's worthy. Y'all see that? Okay. Listen. I want let me come right here. Let me come right here. Let's go here. Okay, that's under view. Have you guys got any questions for that right there? Lisa, I'm doing tremendous. I'm really doing tremendous. I'm really, that's real. I'm doing tremendous. Yeah, bless everybody. Brother Leon is watching. Good. I see you, Dimple. Okay, stay close to Charlotte. She's going to let you know what's what. Okay. Praise. Okay, everybody. Okay. So what do y'all think about somebody having the apostolic mantle in their lives? I'll tell you something, though. The man or the person that receives an apostolic mantle is incredible. People are pulling on you all the time. All the time. I'm just not trying to be funny or big time or nothing. But man, I had to go do something with a doctor. Another doctor had to go somewhere and get something done. Today, I had to drive 110 miles an hour to get it, being late five minutes, because people are always pulling on you. They're always pulling on you. That's what, because that mantle is so powerful. It is what people know, that God can work through that person that operates with an apostolic mantle. So I'll say this to you guys, let God give you that. Don't be asking for it, because for most people it's higher than they can ever know anything about. You just, man, you have to be born to have that. You have to be born for God to use you in that, because if not, it's going to be over your head. How y'all like that? What do y'all think about that? Have y'all thought about that? I've given you a lot of information already, and I'm already at 25. Already at 25. Anybody got any questions or any comments? Questions or comments? I'm going to give you about 10 seconds. I'll give you 20 seconds. They give us 20 seconds here. So let me say, have you have anything that you really want to talk about right now? I'll give you 20 seconds on it. Let me know. I got a lot to say about that, because I'm living in it right now. I'm telling you, it's amazing, man. Like last night, it's getting higher and higher. Saints, I'm telling you, get ready. We're going to flow in a level of power we have never, that we've never flowed in before. And it's true. Everything starts at the top and goes down through the rest of the body. So what you have seen last night, you saw how God is working in my life. Man, the power of God was so heavy last night. Ooh, it was just incredible. And you guys picked it up too, okay? All right, let's go right back in because you guys are not really ready for that. So let's pick it back up, okay? Okay, one of the ways to receive, watch this, key number one, how do I receive an apostolic mantle? One of the ways to receive an apostolic mantle is for the relationship, one who has the apostolic mantle, to release the mantle to the person who, watch this, is what I said earlier. He releases the mantle to the person who deserves the mantle through relationship. Through the relationship. You know? He has to know, like in my situation, I'm going to use me. The only way I will release an apostolic mantle on anyone, they have to deserve it. You can see the way they live now. Amen, somebody. Apostle Lewis and Apostle Bismarck, they knew my lifestyle. They knew I pray all the time. They knew it. They knew I fast all the time. They knew I wasn't scared of nothing all the time. Well, that person could be a candidate to receive an apostolic mantle. He didn't say that the person going to ask for it. No, the person who had the apostolic mantle, what he knew that the person he was looking at deserved it. Deserved it, y'all. Deserve it. How y'all like that? Let me come down for y'all. Let me come down for y'all right now and see what y'all think of that. What y'all think of that? Bless you, Keith and Teresa. Bless you all. Okay. Let me ask you this. What do you think about before a man of God, an apostle, wants to release an apostolic mantle in somebody's life? I just told you all how it works. That person has to deserve it. I'm going to say it to you. There are not many people that deserve it because they couldn't handle it. You know, it's a whole different setup, man. When you look at the apostles in the New Testament, this is interesting. You don't hardly see them with their spouses. You don't see them with their wives. You don't ever see Peter with his wife. After Jesus went back to heaven, you didn't see anything about Peter's wife after Jesus went to heaven. Why? Because he was always taking care of the kingdom of God. And it's like that, man. I'm going to tell you something about, I'm just going to touch this and I'm going to move on. One of the things that will cause people not to be the one that will receive an apostolic mantle because they don't deserve it. Why? When a person walks in an apostolic mantle, that person, man, that person loves the kingdom of God so much, it's unbelievable. It is unbelievable. He loves it. He loves it, and he does more for the kingdom of God than he does for his family. See, most people can't handle that. He prays more than he speaks to his family. That's just the way it is. He can't help it. It is just how he is. How do you know that, Bishop Baylor? That's how I live. I'm just telling y'all straight on. I'm telling y'all straight on. I did that when I lived with Mother Baylor. I lived with her for I don't know how many years. Ask her if you get some time to talk to her about it. She'll tell you. Larry would come home from work, walk right to his room and close the door. He wouldn't say nothing to me because I wasn't thinking about her. I was thinking about what I was doing for God. That's the way it works, y'all. I got to tell the truth. Everybody can't have that kind of desire for the things of God. Those are the people that Jesus shows himself to. Oh, how y'all like that? I'm asking that. How y'all like that? Not too long ago, Prophet Chantel, I had somebody that wrote me a long letter about, you don't spend no time with me. You don't do this, you don't do that. And I want to be a friend like to you and all that. Man, they don't have a clue, man. I don't have time for making a friend. I don't have time for that. I really don't. I don't have time for it. And be honest with you, I don't have a bunch of friends that I go out to eat with and all that stuff. I don't have time for it. Why? I'm always doing something else. Where it is, Prophet, when you say, Bishop, let's go and cast some demons out. I'm good with it. I can go for that. I can go for that. Whatever. Okay, y'all like that? Okay. All right. Let's go. Let's go. I want to use this because I like this better, but I don't know if it's big enough. Let me see if it's big enough. Okay. It's all about relationship. It's about relationship. That's a huge, because that senior man of God that has the apostolic mantle flowing in his life or in her life. Okay, I'll use that. Okay, man, it's different from anything you've ever seen. It's like it controls your life. That's the best way I can say it. It controls your life. And you think about that more than anything. That's just the way it is. Now, I have a wife. I take her out to lunch. I take Cameron to lunch sometimes when he wants to go. That's just the way it works. But it's a whole different setup. Okay, let's deal with key number 2. In 1 Kings, let me make this bigger so I can really see. I'm gonna change this just a little bit, and we'll be good to see it. Okay. 1 Kings 19:19 says this. So he departed thence and found Elisha, the son of Shaphat, who was plowing with 12 yoke of oxen before him. Now look at this. This young man was doing something it wasn't that great. He was plowing with 12 yoke of oxen before him, and he with the 12th. And Elijah, here's the father. And Elijah passed by him and cast his mantle upon him. He saw something in Elisha that he didn't see in anybody else. That's the only person we read in the scriptures that Elijah passed the mantle, the mantle, I'll say the mantle on him, the prophetic mantle. Okay. 12, this has to deal with government. So this man was used to, he was used to government. He knew how to handle the animals that he was dealing with. The word yoke is from the word to see man. It has to do with a team, a day's task for a yoke of cattle together. Listen to this. Elisha, watch, we're dealing with a young man getting ready to receive a mantle. Elisha was willing to walk behind the 12 yoke of oxen and work with them. Here it is. Here's key number 2. This is how you get it. You must be willing to walk behind the established governmental structure while working with it. A lot of people don't like government, man. They don't like to follow leadership. They think they know stuff they don't even know. I don't even pay attention when they do that. I don't even pay no attention to them because I know they're wrong. I'm telling you. Y'all see that? In order to be the one that receives an apostolic mantle, You has to be willing to walk behind the established governmental structure while working with it. A lot of people don't know this. Faith Miracle Temple is very organized if people want to follow and do what God has given them to do. Number 3, people who walk in front of governmental structure never receive mantles. That should be, this is walking in front of governmental structures. You know where you walk with governmental structures? You walk behind it. You follow it. You learn from it. That's how it works. Whenever I'm with Bishop, I'll use his highest way of receiving what he is. When Apostle Bismarck and Apostle Lewis are with me, man, I don't hardly say nothing unless they ask me. I walk behind them because the governmental structure means that. Some people, you know, I ain't gonna go deep in this, but I'm gonna show y'all something. I'm gonna show y'all something. I got to do it. I got to do it because it's coming into my mind right now. Now, how many of y'all looked at the television last night, and our president gave a speech, and when he said, you know, we're going to take care of all the people in the United States, we're not going to let anybody hurt them and all that. He said, all of y'all that believe that I need to take care of, or we need to take care of all of the people in the United States, all of the folks that are just they are citizens here. Just stand up. Now, all of the Republicans stood up, the Democrats wouldn't. Now, if I had to make either group all mantle, give them all apostolic mantles, I wouldn't have given the Democrats nothing, because they don't know how to follow. Sometimes I'm gonna tell you, with the apostolic mantle, everybody, sometimes a senior preacher will tell you to do stuff that you don't want to do. They will tell you things you don't agree with, but he's right. I'm telling you, people don't understand that. They don't understand that. God is testing them. How y'all like that? Yeah, you got to get under, Sister Waller. You got to do it, man. You got to be humble. I'm telling you, but when my father was living, I'll tell you the truth. We didn't have all this back in that day. My father, back in that day, the organization we was in, we didn't even deal with apostolic mantles. We didn't even know what an apostle was, really. But my father used to tell me to do stuff. I would do it anyway, because I didn't know. I didn't know everything. He would tell me stuff to do, and I would do it. But guess what? Down on the inside, I didn't want to do it. But because I followed him, I did what he said. Those are the people that receives an apostolic mantle from an apostle. How y'all like that? People want to be like an apostle. You think you do? Let them pick you. I'm gonna say, let them pick you, because you're gonna need it. It's not what people think, man. I'm telling you, your life, man. This is really interesting. Now, prophet, I'm sure you can deal with this. You can deal with this. When you have people like apostles, you have people like full level prophets. They was like they was walking in some of this stuff before they was even saved. It was something about them that was different than anybody else. Lord, I ain't got but 19 minutes. Lord, y'all making me want to do 2 hours. But I kind of shut that down for a minute. But I'll give y'all 5 more minutes because I was late. Okay? Listen, you have it when you are a kid. I'm telling you, man, I always knew I was different from everybody. I always knew it. Some of the stuff I would do, I would do. You know, me and all my brothers, for the most part, we were all athletes. But there was some things in me I knew it was something I had to do. I didn't know what it was. I did not know what it was, but I knew I had something to do. When you have that in your life, when you was like 12, you knew you was something else. And God knows when you was about 19, you knew it was something different about you. You knew you was not like anybody else around you. Did you feel like that, Prophet Chantel? Did you feel like you was not like nobody you knew? I'm asking. Put that out there, Prophet. I want to see. And maybe you can give us some insight on it so folks can know, how does a person receive key number 2? I'm putting that out there. It's something, man, it's something that's really is strange. It really is, man. I'm telling you. I've told y'all this before to show y'all how deep that is. Yeah, Prophet. I know you. I knew what you was gonna say. I knew what you was gonna say because it's all on you. It's all in you. I told y'all this before. I was with a girlfriend I had one time, and she didn't like to get high. I did. She didn't. And man, I'm smoking this marijuana. And it just came out, Prophet. Michelle, it just came out. Oh yeah, you're born with it. I didn't know that though. They see back then they didn't teach like that, you know, because they wasn't as fully into the word like we are now. You know, we know just about all of that now. But man, I was sitting there getting high talking to her. I said, it's something I gotta do. I don't know what it is. It's something I gotta do. I was telling this girl this. And I'm getting high as a kite. Now you know there's something on that brother then. I had no idea that it was this what I'm doing right now. Because you're born with it. I'm telling you, you're born with it. I've always loved helping people. When I was in college, I used to help basketball players learn how to do the math. I had girls, I used to help them with math and all that stuff. You know, my brother Dave, I used to type his lessons for him. I've always been like that. It's just the way it is, man. You love people like I do now, but I don't like folks turning their back on me and treat me wrong when I treat them right. You know, that don't work together too well. So y'all like that? How y'all like that? So Sister Waller, I love Glorious. I love Glorious. Y'all, man, I love you guys dearly. And I can't wait to see what you guys manifest as you move forward. Okay, let me back up and do some more because I don't have a whole lot of time. I got a little time, okay? Okay. Listen. This is number 3, how to receive an apostolic mantle from key number 2. People who walk in front of governmental structure never receive mantles. You're going before the person that's going to give it to you. Don't do that, man. Don't think you're all that in a bag of chips. Number 4, you must have a team mentality. You got to be able to work with folks. One, you got to work with the senior person that carries the apostolic mantle. If you don't work well with people, man, you'll never have a chance. You see that? Humble yourself. What really, I'm going to tell you something. A true apostle is a very humble man. Y'all be surprised, brothers and sisters. Larry Baylor takes a lot of stuff from people. I take a lot of stuff from pastors. I'm telling y'all the truth. I take a lot of stuff from people, man. Y'all have seen some of it. Y'all have seen some of it. You know, y'all have seen it. I'm not going to go any further than that, okay? Let's deal with key number 3, how to receive an apostolic mantle. 1 Kings 19:21 says this. He turned back from him and took a yoke of oxen and slew them and boiled their flesh with the instruments of the oxen and gave unto the people, and they did eat. Then he rose and went to Elijah. That's Elijah going to Elijah, and ministered unto him. The word minister here means to attend as a menial or worshiper. Okay? So he elevated his man of God. It means to contribute to or to serve, to wait on. So he put Elisha put Elijah on a platform that was real high because he understood what he was dealing with. You know, you got so many people think they better. You got people think they better than their pastors, better than their apostles, better than their prophets. Man, I see it all the time. I see it all the time, man. And people don't. I'm gonna tell you one thing that we're gonna hit it. You know, we don't have a zillion of these keys. We got some, but man, it's amazing that people are in that they're into what they receive for themselves. When you desire to receive an apostolic mantle, you can't be thinking for yourself. You can't be thinking about yourself that you're going to do all this and do all of that. No. Man, what a real man or woman of God that receives, everybody, that receives an apostolic mantle, they are pushed aside just so they can advance the kingdom of God. They don't do it for themselves. They follow the individual that released the apostolic mantle on them in their lives. They do whatever they're told. Y'all see that? They humble. Let me ask you this. How many, don't put it in the chat, but I want you to think about it. How many of you guys feel that you're a very humble person? How many of y'all feel like you're a humble person? Papa said this, you don't fit in. Your mind just works differently. And a lot of people don't understand you and the things you discuss. I've been like this all my life. I'm telling you. Y'all might not believe this, prophet, but you know, God was helping me really then. I didn't know it. But when my mother was roughly, I'd say she was roughly maybe 40 years old, maybe a little younger, whatever. She was helping these rich people. Guess who? I used to go with her every time, every Friday night, every Saturday night. I don't know why I did it, because I just love people. They had 2 girls, and I should go there to help her with the girls and all that stuff. You know? You just don't, God is shaping you when you're young, man. God is shaping you, man. You want to help people even if they don't like you. I do it, man. I could tell y'all some stories, but I try to help people anyway. I try to love them anyway, because that's the way it ought to be. Okay? Yeah, that's just a part of it. That's a part of it. That's a part of it. Yeah, man, that's it. But you can see, you got to walk in that, man. You have to walk in that. Today, I told Faith Hope about it. I had to go and they had to stick some stuff. I got something stuck on me right now, right in the middle of my chest, to see how my heart is doing. Okay, they had me out in man, just waiting to get my stuff done. Finally, I got there. They sent another lady that knew everything, took her in there, and she fixed up everything for me so I can do this, man, and make sure I'm cool. Man, you know what I did? I said, I got something for you. I've never seen this lady in my life. I'm talking about helping people. I said, I got something for you. Man, I didn't have no guest passes in my wallet. I gave them all out. but I had a card with all my information on it, and I gave it to her, and I pitched it to her coming to Faith Miracle Temple. Yeah, man. Why? Because I love people. What what's so deep? What's so deep? Faith, hope. I believe God set all that up and made them people mess up a little bit so I could meet that lady and invite her to church. I think that's what it was all about. I'm serious. That's what it was all about. Sometimes God set up things in order to allow his will to come to pass. I thought about, because they kept me, man, there, and I wasn't doing nothing but sitting, and they said, well, you gotta, we'll get you there. We'll get you there. Man, they kept me about an hour. I in my mind, I thought about going home. But I said, no, I'm gonna stay right here. I did. And finally they called me, and I gave the lady, she was very nice, wonderful person to me. And hey, God was working with that. I was smiling with everybody, having fun with them, because I had to take off my shirt and pull it up. I had to pull it up, and they saw the Omega Sci-Fi brand on me. I said, I don't do that no more. I hadn't told I was a pastor yet. She saw that. She said, oh, you one of them? I said, yeah, I was Omega Sci-Fi, but I don't do that no more. I'm a pastor. Oh, man. She said, oh, man, I've been looking for a church. That's what she told me. The lady told me that she's looking for a church. Isn't God just incredible? Isn't that something? If I go somewhere and I get some time with somebody, they more than likely they gonna get some invitations to come to Faith Miracle Temple because they need it. Everybody needs Jesus. I don't know if they don't have them. I'm not saying that, but I tell you this: you come to Faith Miracle Temple, if you want some Jesus, you're gonna get it. All right. Okay. Wow. I got 7 minutes. Y'all want me to pull one more? I tell you what, I'm going to stop right here. I am going to stop right here. Okay. And we'll pick it up next week. The Lord says the same. So I'll just make it like this. So, saints, I'm telling you, it's more than what people think when they see a person that walks with an apostolic mantle. And you know what's deep, y'all? One of the reasons men and women of God that flow with an apostolic mantle, the reason they do it, they so humble. And sometimes, it makes you feel like, man, this is something else. Because you don't like people doing you wrong, but you get it. It's just the way, it's just part of what the apostolic mantle does to help you become who the Lord wants you to do and to be. I'm telling you, it's not what people think, man. It's not what people think. They think it's one thing, it's something totally different. Yeah, his works are incredible, but sometimes this is what's interesting. A lot of what God is doing, you don't know is him. I've experienced things I didn't know it was God until later. You just don't know, man. You just don't know. There you go. Yeah, that's true, Linda. That's true. Yep, that's true. But I'll be straight with you, Linda. I'll be straight with you. There's nobody, I don't care. I don't care what kind of mantle people receive. They don't like being done wrong. But you're able to handle it. And this is what's interesting. The more you handle negativity, when God is raising you up, the more you experience, the higher God takes you. I'm telling y'all, man, it's something else, man. My I'm saying my immediate family has put up with a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff, man. They put up with a lot, and so have I. And I'm still putting up with it. So have y'all noticed? Y'all don't know what's going on behind the closed doors. But man, I don't go anywhere because I try to keep myself in a posture where I don't connect with some people because I know what they're gonna do. So I don't deal with them too much. I just stay in my prayer room, studying, praying, seeking God, and sometimes just resting. You know? Yeah, that's how God works. God works, man, in ways you don't, man, is incredible. It's incredible, you know? The Lord, it was the Lord himself that told me, whenever you go to the car wash, you put no less than $20 in there. Every time you go in there, you give somebody a guest pass and you put a $20 bill in there. So he won't even let me put a $5 bill in there or a $10 bill. God, Jesus won't let me do that. I can't do that. I do not do that. It's always $20 all the time. How many of you guys would like to give $20 every time your car get washed? That's God doing that, man. You're learning, saints. You're learning. You're learning to be humble. You're learning to love people. You're learning to do things beyond your will when you hear from God. All that's important, man. Saints of the Most High God, a lot of us need to have our spirit broken because the way it is, you won't hardly ever see people that are mean. They are angry all the time, but they are yet a recipient of an apostolic mantle. You don't see that. When I spend time with Apostle Lewis and Apostle the other apostle, yeah, Apostle Bismarck, man, those guys are humble guys. They are humble guys, man. Yeah, Tina, you know, that's good to say, but brother, I'm telling you, God takes you through tests and trials, man, that is not easy, man. Like, really, I'll be straight with you. What I'm going through now is a part of it. What, right now? Yep. Right now. You know, God allowed all of this. And I know, I know what he's doing. I've discussed it with certain ones, you know, because I knew what was going on, but I'll say it like this: I didn't tell anybody about it. I just talked to some people that are very spiritually mandated. I talked to them about it, and it's something else. Yeah, everything that God takes you through, you don't fully understand it. Yeah. No, yeah. Well, that's just part of it, you know. Like for instance, the apostolic mantle is a lot like having the gift to heal. You know, the Lord gave me what he did with my father who had that gift too. But you know, that sounds good when everybody's at church on Sunday and God healed somebody and you did it. That sounds good, don't it? But what about when they call you at 3 o'clock in the morning and you got to get out of bed and go to the hospital? I've had to do that. That is not fun. He does, but you don't know. Tina, you don't know how much you can handle. You don't. Because God takes you to your latitude. He takes you as far as you can go. I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you, y'all just don't know. Man, if I told y'all everything, y'all would say, wow, man, it happened like that. Yeah. I've had a lot of people, man, that y'all is something else to come against you. When God wants to release that apostolic mantle on you, he's gonna let people let you know what you are. What you are. But a lot of people make themselves because God is not giving it to them. We got 5 minutes more because I was a little late. Okay, yeah, something, man. And to be straight with you, a person that walks in a real deep mantle, and whether it's an apostle's mantle or a prophetic mantle, whichever one, you really spend a lot of time to yourself. This the truth. Y'all might think I'm tripping, but I'll tell you the truth. I like to be alone more than being with anybody. That's just me. I like that. I love it, be honest with you. And when Jesus started talking, oh man, I think I love something. That's how it works. I don't know. No, we were a little late today. We were a little late today because I had a lot going on. Yeah. You need to get all of it, but you can just go back and look at the video. You can look at the video. Yeah, but that not that somewhat like cares, but it's designed. It's designed to take you out of yourself. That's what God's trying to do. He's trying to change what you are so you will never go back to that again. Man, I used to be a mean person. I'm telling you, when I was dealing with my father, I was a mean person. I don't have that now, but I can, but I don't. See? So you don't know what God is doing, man, until it's over. When people start messing with people close to you, that's bad because you don't like that. When they start messing with your spouse or they messing with your children, or they messing with your mother, or they messing with your father, or they messing with a cousin or something like that, there's nothing you can do. A bunch of kids jumping on your nephew at school. How about somebody in church jumping on your kid? I just be quiet, man, and do what God gives me to do. I don't tell Jesus, beat me some more. Let the people beat me. No, I don't say that. I just be quiet and do what I do. I act like they don't even exist. Do what I got to do. Everybody's different. I've had a lot, man. I'm telling you, man, you'd be surprised. When I first took over as pastor of Faith Miracle Temple, man, some of the saints treated me so bad, it was terrible. They walked on me and slammed doors. They walked out on me on Sunday morning, said I won't be back. All of that. I mean, that's just the way it goes. Because what God is doing, he's changing what you are in your spirit and in your soul and in your mind. That's what he's doing. Yeah. You'll see, and y'all got to know this. Y'all know this. When God gets ready to try you, to take you through a test, saints, he knows what to do. He knows how you gonna suffer. But he knows how to get it out of you. He knows how to get the pride out of you. Like with this thing I've been dealing with, I thought in my mind when it first hit, Lord, you mean that hit me? Me, I'm me. All I do is seek you and fast every week and pray every day. So you mean that hit me? I can't understand that. But God knew what to do to change some things inside of me. He knew he knew what to do. Hey, that wasn't fun though. It wasn't something, oh, I like it, do some more. I just was quiet. Oh, yeah, June. Hey, man, that's only part of it, man. I've had bishops to do me wrong. But I've had a few of them did me wrong and still doing it. Y'all just don't know. Y'all just don't, man. It ain't what you think, man. It makes you stay by yourself. That's what it does. Oh, man. Yeah, it makes you want to stay by yourself. That's just the way it is. And I do that anyway, though. You know, I've always been off to myself. You know? So that's just a part of it. And the higher the Lord takes you, the more he's going to test you. So you can not only get there, but you can stay there. Okay, everybody hear that? Okay, I got to go. Hope y'all got something out of the lesson. We'll pick it up next week, you know, and I'll be teaching on something else tomorrow night. You guys be a part of that. Yeah, that's right, June. But you know what, man? If all of that wasn't happening, I would still want to be by myself because that's just the way I am. I like that. I love that, be honest with you. Everybody's different. When I was a kid, June, I used to train all the dogs. I would be with the dog by myself. I would train them how to do things. It's just the way people are. But that was just a part of what God was doing in my life. So when I got of age, it wouldn't be difficult for him to put me in a place that he could use me. That's just part of it, you know. Oh man, trying, Sister Weiler, trying, you know, because believe it, saints, when you I'm gonna be through with this. When you deal with God, you dealing with somebody that nobody fully understands. Nobody understands God. You just don't. How in the world can you understand a God that knows everything? I say this to God every day. I say, Lord, you know everything. Everything. He knows all of it, man. You can't know everything he knows. It's impossible. You don't even know a millionth of what he is. You don't know. You wait till you get to heaven, man. Throughout eternity, he's going to teach us things about him. And it'll never end. It'll never get to the point where you know it all. You won't know nothing. You'll never know anything because God is too great. Y'all see that? Yeah, it works like that, you know. I'm telling you. And you know, you just have to be real humble with that because God lets you deal with some stuff, go through some things that you wonder, wow, why did God let that happen? 227. I've been both. I was very rarely lonely, not often, but at sometimes yes. But for the most part, because I like being alone, I like it. I like it, especially once I got saved. Once I got saved, I love it. Okay, all right, yeah, Tina, that's how it works, man. The higher God takes you, the more you will go through. That's just as simple as I can say it. I'm telling you, and you cannot tell everybody what's going on in your life. It's just as simple as I can say it. Okay. All right. I'm not gonna go to 2 hours today. I gave y'all more than 5 extra minutes. So let's prepare. Let's prepare to break this down. Yeah. And if you read the whole book of Job, you'll see Job didn't like what he was dealing with. He didn't like it. He didn't like it, but he went through it. He had to. But look what God did at the end, okay? All right. Yeah, Faith Hope. You know a lot about this stuff. It's something else. But hopefully everybody will learn how this stuff plays out. Okay? All right. Let's prepare to leave and let everybody have a wonderful day. All right, saints of God. You guys were good today. And we'll pick this up next week on Wednesday, okay? And remember, until the next time, God wants to take you and you and you. He'll take it to you to higher ground.